Live. All right. After some technical difficulty with the audio and having a great 10-minute conversation with Prince and mess up the audio, I'm going to start over this podcast and start with welcome to CWA Podcast, which is Conversations with Adam podcast. Today, we got my friend Prince, who is in the middle of, you're in Central Park? Washington Park. And Prince and I were still our best friends, but we're best friends through high school. Him and I played soccer together. And right now, yo, stop talking. I'm introducing the podcast.
I know, I'm listening. I'm sorry.
He is currently at School of Visual Arts in New York City. He is a photography major. He's with his friend Yvonne, who's chilling with him, who's going to be his secondhand man in this podcast. And, yeah, hell, I hate that I just totally didn't get your entire first little speech, but we were first talking about the influence of your magazine, Jody, and how you're advertising it across the city with say exactly how you're advertising your Jody magazine across the city.
Repeat the question.
How are you advertising your Jody magazine across the city?
Come on. I'm a little distracted right now.
I can see. Are you running?
I'm running to try and catch a photo, but please just say the question like one more time, and I'll answer it.
Your magazine that you were speaking about called Jody. How are you advertising it across the city right now?
Oh, I'm putting it on walls, and I'm putting it like everywhere, and I'm putting Jody on it. Do you mind if I take a photo of you? Yeah, sure. And it's like I'm making the art public. Okay. Oh my gosh, you have coffee in your hand. All right, one more. I'm gonna wait for this guy to mask off. Take that mask off. All right. Oh, that's insane. What's your name? Lauren. Do you know this kid named Yvonne? All right. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bro, she said she doesn't know that dude, Yvonne. Yo,
does Yvonne know her?
She said she doesn't know you, bro. No. You probably don't remember your name.
Oh my god, you are really just like messing around in Washington Park right now.
Yeah, bro. All right, I'm back. So, like I was saying before, I was rudely disturbed by some blue-haired girl that you fucking chased down when I said. Don't give them all that information, bro. Chill. So I'm putting Jody on just the public sector, the public space within the community, because that's how this art should be digested, right? Mm-hmm. It's for the community and by the community. So, yeah, I mean, if you're lucky, you get to see a masterpiece. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you're lucky, you get to see a masterpiece just on the street wall for free. You know, how lucky is that? You know, it's a beautiful thought to have. And I hope the community can appreciate what Jody's about to bring to the world. It's about to be revolutionary.
Hey, Prince, I know you're not really with social media anymore. I know you're not really on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, not really anymore. You're kind of with it, but have you heard of this account called We Are Not Strangers?
No, never.
I don't know if they're based in New York or if they're in other cities, but it's these young people that they have these like quotes and like memos that they create, and they put it on a piece of paper and then like cut out the letters so that they put it on a wall and spray paint it so that when they take it off it's like a clean message that they have. Like, look, let me share my screen and I'll try and find something like that.
Pull it up. Let's take a look at it. I'm interested.
Look, we are not strangers. They also made it into a game that you could just play with literal, like, random people in the street.
What? A game?
let's make a left.
Like, so
made it a game.
look, like, scroll your phone gently down the feed. Merrily, 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 life is but a screen. Like, don't you love that?
I love you.
Scroll your phone gently down the feed.
Let's make a left.
Merrily, 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 life is but a screen. But the thing is, it's not though. Life isn't a screen. Like, I have like
Life is a fucking chaotic.
life isn't a screen, bro. We've made it a screen because as humans, we're kind of just conditioned at this point. But bro, Jackson and Eldridge don't have a phone, and I see the way they live, and they look very. Dude, don't they look enlightened without a phone?
I mean,
Who is this you're talking about? Who are you talking
I don't
about?
agree with the not having a phone bullshit. Because
He doesn't agree with not having. Jackson and Eldridge are the two other boys who are in the magazine.
Okay.
So we're talking about.
you
And I was
literally
just saying
need
that
a
they don't have
phone to like make plans with people. Like,
That's
you
what,
can't-
yeah.
You don't need a phone to make plans with
If
people,
you
bro.
have a somewhat of an important life and you're actually doing shit, you need to like meet up with people.
You need to meet up with people. Okay.
He's got a
okay.
point.
Like,
No,
I don't
he's
meet up
got
with
a
So
point.
like, so like networking. But you could use a payphone or you could use a beeper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but then
but,
you're
I
living
mean,
in the
that's just more
90s,
work.
Prince. Like, it's the 21st century now. Everyone's got phones.
Trying to
It's
work
like,
smarter, not harder. You understand what I'm saying?
He's trying to work smarter, not harder. Vaughn.
my thing.
I'm just gonna play advocate and say that just because everyone is doing it and everyone has it doesn't mean that it's necessarily the right way or the healthiest way to live.
Agreed.
Because the phone does things that isn't necessarily great. Like it fucks up your posture. It fucks up your neck posture. Most people hold their phone below their chest, like right above their hip, and so their necks are usually down, and it's horrible. And then their backs are fucked up and arched over because they're bending over. So your back and your neck are taking posture.
That's debatable.
You know?
We got to start holding people responsible instead of the technology.
Exactly. That's where Yvonne is speaking facts. My opinion on this is I totally agree with you. There are so many negatives about phones, but he's right that it really does depend on the person. Like, there
Of
are
course.
so many pros to phones as well as social media, but what makes them corrupt is ourselves. So if you use it correctly in the right way to network and to journal and to do all those things instead of focus on social media as wanting to be someone you're not and looking at all these people like posting stories of them partying and doing things that you wish you were doing and then you feel bad about what you're doing, like that's not what it should be about. It should be about using it in the productive way that you should, and that's what my argument on it is. Phones can be argued that they're the like epitome of this generation, but I argue you can throw this away. You can put this down and not use it, and you have control over it. So you can say they're a problem, but we're the problem. We can make these
We are
better.
the problem. We've always been the problem.
We've always been the problem.
There is no problem and there is no issue. There's no resolution and there is no problem. There's no issue. We as humans create an issue or we create a problem, and it's not there. We just create it.
It
And
could
then
be,
we
yeah.
create-
You
and
could
then
say
we
it's
create-
subjective. The
You know?
problem is subjective.
There are no problems and there are no solutions because everything is man-made and man makes their problems and another man has to fix it. And we're just sold on this delusion that, that was properly fixed. But really, no, it was a problem created from another man and then fixed by another man.
I mean,
So
like I
it's
said,
a man-made thing.
But
Have you-
Everything.
back to the phone thing, it's like you cannot own a phone or whatever if that's what you want to do. But I'm telling you, it for me, it's not good.
You know what Spencer told me, bro? Spencer told me that everybody who has a phone is being listened in on.
It's facts.
Everybody's being tapped.
It's
And
facts,
he's
but
not
not by
wrong.
people, not by FBI people. All of our phones, what we text, what we say, it's all recorded on a database into zeros and ones. And if we say something about cars in our text, a lot of times we will start getting ads about cars. Like, we have seen this happen. If you're with someone and you start talking about babies, you're going to get stuff on your feed that's about children and families. Like,
That's true,
like
but I don't really care though.
no, that's the thing. Like, you can think of this as a pro and think, hey, well, I actually am happy that I got this ad because then I can look at, but then that's the free market is we are always wanting to get new things and new gadgets. And if it does listen, it can make us use our money to get those things. But Yvonne's right. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because just like with the phones distracting, like messing up our backs and our net, like it's up to us. I don't know about you, but like our parents be holding our phones like this and we be making fun of them. But we're out here watching TikTok and Instagram like this, and we're gonna be 30 and 40 and have a horrible back.
They're correct. I just want to say that, it's not really a major problem. Like, the phone isn't a problem. I think it's like a really nifty thing. Like, personally, I get a lot of use from it, and I think it makes life more accessible, and it makes life like faster. And I'm an impatient person naturally, so like when I'm meeting up with somebody and they also have a phone, right? Because this is 2020, and I shoot them a text and let them know and they respond, and then time is it's more concise and it's clear, and things get worked out a lot better than like today. I was trying to meet up with Jackson. He doesn't have a phone. We said that we're going to meet at 12, but he slept in and I don't have any way of getting in contact with him. So I just pretty much had to say, all right, Jackson, without the phones.
So
I'll let that one,
So bro, like what I hear is like when you're saying you're impatient, bro, all of us are, because we are a part of a society. Where'd you go? We are a part of a society that depends on instant gratification. That is the magic word, instant gratification. We want things fast and we want things now. We don't want to, when our phone goes a little bit slower than it does, like a little bit slower, like when you're texting and your keyboard lags, that messes with our brain so much because we're so used to the instant gratification of literally being able to type whatever you want and send it. Being able to Google something and it searches like that. The minute our browser is taking forever to load, we get so annoyed, we get so amped up, and we're just like so impatient because we are dependent on instant gratification. And if we went back 100 years in 1920, we could not, like, imagine people all reading newspapers to get their information when we could check Twitter for God knows what if it's real, or checking Fox or checking CNN. Like, no one wants to deal with waiting for things anymore. Amazon sends you a package the day you can do it. They could literally get you a package within 12 hours of you ordering it. That's insane to me. That's insane.
Right.
Like,
it's also like, I don't know. You have to think about it. In the Western world, we've been conditioned to worship money. We've been nurtured and brought up to value money before we value
family,
Before anything.
Before
family,
anything.
friends, nature.
That's the most fucked up thing, and I think that should be eradicated. Like, the value of class and status should be eradicated, but it won't in the United States. It won't.
No, it won't, because people naturally want to feel better than other people.
Exactly, and it comes from a place of severe lacking. A lot of people in the Western world are very spiritually weak. They're very materialistically strong, but very spiritually weak.
But that's the word, materialistic. That's the word, materialistic. We all want, the minute the iPhone 12 comes out, the iPhone 11 is crap. The minute the Tesla 4 comes out, the Tesla Model 3 is crap. We all want the next best thing. Balenciaga, Gucci, all these things that are not thrift store items. They have a label on them that says $12,000, and we think that if we wear that, we will be looked at differently than other people. And it's true. If you look at someone walking down the street who has two bodyguard looking people and they're wearing like drip and red bottoms and chains, and like they got like people behind them to make them look like they're like a big deal, we look at those people like they're a big deal. But then you could also have an actor in Hollywood like Adam Sandler or other people that just wear whatever they want and they can walk around as if they're like a civilian like everyone else. That's how I want to be when I'm hopefully living in LA or New York or any Chicago, like a big city, and I hopefully you know what I mean? I don't know. I've been thinking about Chicago. I don't know what your opinion on Chicago is, but it's a good city.
Chicago architecturally is prime, but I think I don't know, man. Living in New York, I don't think I could live anywhere else in the U.S. and be satisfied because it's just like it's too fast, and going anywhere else is like I would just be like too impatient for it, and I wanted it. But America is not my home, man. This is for them.
I know. So this leads me into my next point that I was gonna bring up is I already know the answer to this, but for the people watching, where do you see yourself if it's not in the U.S. and why? Why is that the location?
I see myself in Berlin, Germany, Paris, France. And right now, those two places are probably
And why do they attract you?
Well, Berlin attracts me because it's an environmentally sustainable city, and it's very economically it's okay. Sorry. But it's very economically, it's just not classist. Like in Germany, when I lived there, I loved it because it's like someone who's making the $3 million is living right next to someone who's making the $25,000 because the space is about the same size for most places. Yeah, and the cost of living is pretty fair. So you could be in two different tax brackets, but living next door to each other. And that's the beautiful thing about it. And the value of money just isn't placed. And a lot of like these gender roles, I just got hit. Like a lot of these like gender roles, like I was treated so nicely, bro, in Germany by beautiful women that just like bought me stuff. And like they didn't have like this American like notion or like I guess the stigma of a man needs to do everything for me. Like, right? You know, like they were so open and so kind and just so they were so curious, you know? They were so curious that they just whatever, yeah, you want to drink? Yeah, whatever. But eventually, you know, that wasn't, you know, but that's one reason that it's very like classless and the women are really cool, and it has like this really popping underground culture that's really youthful and it's vibrant and it's on the come up. And then Paris, France is classic. Paris, France is romance. Paris, France is home. Paris, France is where I'm going to probably raise my family, but you know, until that day comes, I digress. But yeah, bro, Paris. What more do I need to say? Paris is the most romantic city in the world, bro.
I know.
No questions, no debates, none of that about it, bro.
No.
Paris, France is where it's at, bro. Paris is gonna be the place where I make my masterpieces. New York isn't. I think here's my thing about New York. You should be young and live in New York. You shouldn't be trying to raise your family and settle down in New York. It's just too dirty. It's too dirty and it's too chaotic and it's too nasty. Like, if that's what you like, go for it. But to be honest, I'm not into that when I'm like settled. Mm-hmm. When I'm more, you know, whatever. So, yeah, dude, Paris is romance. Paris is the epitome of romance.
Now if you're so you're in Paris, let's say you're in Paris right now. Maybe not at this age, but let's say even older. Do you think you'll still be doing photography by then, or will you be more into fashion and maybe painting and other visual
I'll be
arts?
painting. I'll be painting once I'm out of like I'll be probably for the next 3 to like 7 years. I'll be working within this magazine within fashion photography, but once I really there'll be a time period where I kind of get maybe how do I say maybe a bit exhausted from just shooting so much, fashion photography.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna want to make make huge paintings in my studio, and just enjoy my studio, just enjoy it. After like about 4 to 5 years of working intensely within the magazine, I want to paint. I want to paint for the next 10 years and then get back into photography. So for the next like 3 to 7 years, I'll be shooting with a little bit of painting on the side, but mainly shooting. And then, I'll probably leave the country. Yeah, and have a huge studio and be painting a lot bigger pieces. And then I'll get back into shooting documentary photography, like traveling around the world and shooting after that. But yeah, I really want to just kind of maybe like do maybe like one switch back and forth from painting to photography back to photography.
So one thing, I know COVID, like, bro, like, I know this for sure being an actor trying to, like, get in the industry, but have you, like, I know COVID is definitely getting in the way, but, like, once things get normalized again, are you trying to, like, get involved with modeling in New York?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, look, dude, I shoot all these people and they're like, bro, Prince, come on, man. I should be shooting you, bro. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, no, I'm not here for that, bro. Like, I could do the modeling for just side money and whatnot, but I'm really not trying to waste too much time on modeling for anything that's subpar. Like, I'll model for Margiela, I'll model for Rick Owens, I'll model for Yves Saint Laurent. Sure.
How are you gonna get there? How are you gonna get to model for them?
Huh?
How are you gonna get to model for them?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to, but if it's a natural thing, if they catch me in the streets, then I'm yeah, that's correct. And I'm gonna take an opportunity. But I don't want to model right now because I think I talk to a lot of models and they're really like pale people, bro.
But see,
there's no passion within them, bro.
I know, bro, and I know that's like the like stereotype. Like models are just dumb and like they have nothing but a pretty face. But like Prince, this is
boring, bro.
This is what I see for you, bro. Like you and I both, we have visions for like concrete things that we want to make and we want to do and give to the public. But you can be a model and move around the world being a model, like Paris, like Germany, and other places in the world. And I'm telling you, you modeling is not what defines you. That's something to pay your bills, and on the side, you would be taking photos of other models, taking photos of yourself, taking photos of architecture, people, and then you can also paint and do all that and incorporate a magazine. If you become a model and you meet other models, you then have beautiful people that you can have in your own magazines and your own stuff. Become a model, be the Andy Warhol of the models, be the creative director of those beautiful people, and bring them in a way that will make them more open-minded than standing in front of something and taking a picture of them. I know your mind is outside of the realm of just being a model. I know that.
Oh, of course.
We're back at Washington Park.
I appreciate your words so much, Brose, and I'm totally open to it. And anytime that the opportunity is there, I'm gonna take it. But right now, I'm really focused on like creating my visual language and my visual art, and modeling just hasn't knocked on my door, and I'm not gonna knock on modeling's door yet. I still think that if it knocks on my door, I'll answer, but I'm not ready to knock on its door yet.
Well,
I'm trying to make this magazine the best magazine in the world, bro.
I know you are. I know you are, but listen to me.
That's
Listen
where
to
my head
me.
is at right
Listen to
now.
me. You may not need to be a model. You may not need to be one of those people, but if you get involved and then meet those people, you have people to use for your magazine. You understand?
Yeah.
Like, all I'm trying to say is, like, networking is key in any type of business like this. And you don't necessarily need to be the guy being the model, but you need to be the guy who knows those people.
You know what I mean? And I think that can happen. I think it's nothing like modeling isn't too. It's nothing to stress about.
Not at all.
You know, it should be something natural and fun. You know, it should be something natural and fun and whatnot. But yeah, bro, I think it could be a cool opportunity. It could be a cool opportunity. And you have a vision, bro. You have a vision. And I have a vision too. But now I'm starting to see a bit of your vision.
But see, Prince, like, this is what we do when we see each other. Like, we both throw spitball ideas at each other and build it. Think of it like Legos. Like, I have to give you the first piece in order for us to make a house. Like, you have to build a house before you can make a city. You got to build a city before you can build an empire. Like, you have to start somewhere. A fire doesn't just appear. You need kindling, and you need to make graphite and whatever to create a spark to light that fire. And you and I poke each other like bears to make sure we're doing our stuff and working on our things to make sure we're not... Look, Casey Neistat made an amazing short film, like literally short film, like 30 seconds. That was the message of life. You know what he was doing? He was in an airport, you know, the moving sidewalks? And he was saying, no, like in the airport, the sidewalks that like go fast.
Oh, yeah.
So he was saying, life is like one of these. It's the ones that those ones.
The walking escalator.
And it's saying, imagine it's going against you. Like it's going against you, right? If you walk in one motion, just staying how you're doing, you'll stay in the exact same place you're going. If you stop, you'll go backwards and you'll not make progress. In order to get forwards, you have to run. You have to go against it. You have to push yourself to go against the current.
Yeah.
How I think of life is like a stream of water. It's like, you should like more so let it like take its course instead of going against the stream. And that's, you know, the way of like, just let life take its course because you have no idea what it's going to give at you. But when it comes to work and when it comes to success, if you just keep doing what you're doing, you're going to probably stay centralized. But if you do what you're doing in a productive manner and you work and you work and you work and you never take time to just be lazy and be on your phone, like if you really mean that and you push, you will get somewhere.
That's the thing. A lot of people believe in luck, or they believe in, you know, the right place at the right time. And granted, you do need a little bit of that, but at the end of the day, life is about working hard and making that luck happen for yourself. You know, creating that opportunity for yourself. You have to work every day. Like, you have to put in time and effort. Like, you have to participate willingly, passionately. And things will open up, you know, not overnight, but, you know, things will open up. But you have to work at things. You know, you have to work at things. And you have to try and, I guess, come up with your own interpretation or your own approach on things in life. And that's how you make them unique. And that's how you make them special. But yeah, I think like this whole fallacy of just being lucky or, you know, just being at the right place at the right
It's
time
BS. It's BS.
is a facade. Like, you have to work extremely hard. And then if you're lucky, you'll have the opportunity to be able to showcase whatever you worked really hard for. But even at that, you might not get to show. And that's okay. You should be completely okay with that. A lot of people just want the result. They want, you know, the accolades. They want all of that. But what are you willing to do for it? You know, how much energy and effort are you willing to put in for it?
How much are you willing to put on the line for what you want? You know? You look at the most famous social activists, and do you think things just came to them? Like, they had to, like, risk a lot. They had to risk...
And they had to, bro, a lot of social activists went through a lot of hardship in their lives. Like, a lot of them either went to jail and, like, became enlightened, or a lot of them had a really traumatic, like, home life as a youth. And, you know, they found enlightenment through that. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, a lot of these spiritual leaders or whatnot, like you're talking about, they come to their knowledge through, like, failure, through aggressive failure. And that's also another thing. Like, you fail so many times before you reach success that it's not even funny, bro. So many people tell you no. So many people will tell you stop. So many people will tell you that that's trash, or I don't understand that, before, you know, people are like, wow, that's revolutionary, bro, or anything like that. So that's another thing too. Like, people have their own agendas, and just keep that in mind. You know, keep other people's perspectives in mind when you're doing whatever you're doing, because, like, I see some people who get easily discouraged or whatnot, and that shouldn't be the case. But I also see a lot of, like, talented people who, like, have the talent, but they're in relationships, or they're just wasting their time with things that are probably going to wither in a couple weeks or months. And it's kind of like, how do you tell someone that you care about, like, yo, like, you should really be spending your time more wisely?
Yep.
It's like one of the hardest things to tell, like, a friend or an acquaintance. Like, dude, you're bullshitting with your time.
Or a
like,
loved
I
one.
love you, like,
yeah.
You know, or a loved one, but, like, you have this talent, use it. And it always, like, chokes me up, bro. It always, I'm never able to, like, when the moment is there to tell the person, like, this is what I should tell them, like, this is what I think you should do, I always stop myself, because I tell myself, number one, it's coming from Prince's perspective, and that maybe that's not their path, right? And number two, that, you know, who the fuck am I? You know, who am I telling you what to do or what I think? But I just think that maybe you might be happier. That's it. Maybe you might be a bit happier if you listen to an outsider's perspective, right? But everybody's life path is their own, mm-hmm. and they need to figure it out for themselves. They should figure it out for themselves. Someone can help you, but someone shouldn't have to help you, if you know what I mean.
Have you heard the phrase that you can lead a horse to drinking water, but you can't force it to drink?
But you can't force them to drink.
Like,
right?
So when it comes to, like, we're in a political time right now where there's an election coming and people want to sway friends and such for voting. Like, you can give them your opinion on that, and you can try and give them a way to look at things, but at the end of the day, you cannot change someone else. You cannot change someone else's beliefs. What you can do is give them a variable of how you see things, and then they can think to themselves, that's interesting. I could think like that. What are you looking at?
I'm looking off and listening to you as you're speaking this wise proverb. But it's true, like,
in a second, I'm going to go talk to Ellen, trying to secure my Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Secure that Chick-fil-A.
Yes. Yes. Oh, well, geez. Yeah, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. But I think it's important to note that, like, a great, like you're saying, a great chef teaches his sous chefs how to cook, bro. He doesn't just, just give them instructions, right? He doesn't just tell them, oh, go pick up the flour at the store, go pick up that, go do that like they're an intern. No, a great chef teaches his sous chefs how to chef, how to cook, So when the chef is sick, the sous chef can throw it down, Like the sous chef doesn't have to come in and he's lost and he's like, oh, I've just been running errands for 3 months. No, like the chef was really good. He was a good leader and he taught his tribe of sous chefs how to cook. And I think that's the same metaphor. Like you can lead cows or deer or whatever you want to call them, but you can't force them to drink. Like
Yep.
It's like I don't know, a good leader, a great leader, like doesn't need to force like his men or whatever you want to call it to do anything. Like they just have to prod, and the good men will follow, and that's how the leader knows that he has a good tribe. If the people in the tribe are team members, if they can work together, if they can collaborate. But if you're not, you walk away and it's better for the tribe, if you walk away because
Where'd you
you have
go?
your own intentions.
Where's your video? There you are.
There we go. It's telling me 10%.
Okay, well, I do want to wrap up not soon, but I want to ask you a few more questions. One,
Okay.
if you could go 4 years ago to sophomore year Prince, would you go 4 years ago and tell yourself things that you would want to tell yourself, or would you say, I learned what I learned back then for a reason, and that's where I am here today?
4 years ago? No, I wouldn't want to go back 4 years ago. 4 years ago, bro, that kind of sucked, bro. I was like, I couldn't play on the soccer team, bro, because of my grades in school. And I felt kind of dumb. And I felt like, what am I doing? Like, is soccer even what I want to do? That was right before I went to Germany. And I don't know. I was a little maybe lost. And I was just fucking around and wasting my time. That was like the first time and the only time in my life where I could say I've like wasted my time or I have like fucked around. And I was doing that. Like I was just doing nothing. I was just trying to hang out and be cool or whatever that means or whatnot. But I was really lame and I just wasn't putting any effort into my studies or trying to learn. So freshman year, high school, bro, nah, it's clipped.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm-
You would rather have your old self go through what Prince went through high school than go back then and give yourself advice from future you.
Give myself advice.
So I'm saying, would you rather have yourself go through what you went through because you learned from your mistakes, or go back and give yourself advice on how to not do that?
I think to be honest, I would just say fuck it. Like, Prince, you gotta, I think in life, I think you optimize the lesson when you have to go through it completely by yourself and figure out completely by yourself.
I agree.
Opposed to having like your future self like come back, and like manipulate like your mind to like make the situation better or to like give you, I think we should go through what we go through in the time and have to figure out ourselves.
Yep.
So we can maximize that lesson. So, it's hard for me to say that I would want to go back to that time.
I know. No, I'm totally with you because I agree that you should have gone through what you went through in order for you to be here today. Because if you went back and tried to change things, you may not be where you are right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And
what I'm saying.
I don't know. I think I wouldn't tell myself anything too crazy if I went back to 9th grade. I would just tell myself to just do stuff that I already would know I should be doing. Stop spending time with just kids that we went to school with that were just what? No, just stop doing that. Just stop doing the obvious things.
Yep.
That's all I would do. It wouldn't even be information that's gold or that's so valuable. It's just super obvious things that I was naive to because, it was a bigger environment and I don't know. I do believe in survival of the fittest though. You should, if you have kids, bro, if you're lucky enough to have children, throw your children out into the wolves, bro, into the jungle, bro.
Yeah.
Give them to the nature, bro. Let them raise themselves. And then that kid will emerge out of the jungle as a king or as a queen, bro. That's the best way to do it. You don't...
Yeah.
All these kids talking about they have ADD, ADHD, bro, were you in Vietnam or something, bro? You're 12 and you're from the suburbs and you were given everything in your life. You're so privileged.
They could still have ADHD, but I get what you're trying to say.
I don't know, bro. But
Attention deficit disorder, Prince. That's okay
bro,
for people to have.
Bro, your parents had ADD when they were in school.
It's a spectrum. Everyone has it. There's just a spectrum
of
it.
Bro. Everyone has a different form of ADD.
Yes,
ADD,
agreed.
bro.
Agreed. So that's what I'm saying. Even a 12-year-old spoiled kid in the suburbs can have ADD, but it's more so. I agree with what you're saying. My parents, my parents didn't throw me to the wolves, Prince. But in my opinion, being the youngest of 3 brothers, of 3 boys, it was definitely coddling the firstborn. Secondborn is more this already happened. You have 5% left?
No.
Oh, okay.
8.
No. Secondborn is all right, we went through this once. This will be easy. And then by the 3rd kid, it's just metaphorically throwing him to the wolves. We already done this. We're gonna. So I felt I was still treated like my other brothers were at a young age, but I felt through my high school years when I was the only, we said, because I was the only child with everyone outside the house besides me. They definitely let me do my own things, and they always wanted me to be safe and not become behind in school and to still be respectful to other parents and my elders, and I did. And that's what I'm saying is your parents should create good morals for their children and create a good background, but they should not coddle them to the tit when they get old, or else they're not going to be able to mature on their own. It's important for all human beings to grow and mature in their own time, in life, on their own time, social and whatever.
Getting that portrait taken.
Hey, getting that portrait.
I totally agree. I think a child... And here's another thing. I think with parents, a child should be their ideas shouldn't be enforced on them by their parents, right? Their parents, political beliefs or political ideals
should
or
not. I know.
Political disposition.
But
or
it is. Left and right. It always is.
A lot of parents in America force their children to take on their beliefs, and I think that's horrible. I think that we should let our children form their own opinions, their own ideals, but we should give them the frameworks, right? We should give them the frameworks of what we believe is right and wrong, and then give them the reasons of why we think those things are right and wrong. And then with that information, let your child go out into the world go through their own experiences, and with their own experiences form their own thought forms, beliefs, and opinions. You know, I don't think that, you know, parents should force their religious beliefs on their children. I don't think parents should force their like eating habits on their children. Like, a lot of kids become obese because their parents eat fast food, or like their parents like bring like soda home, you know, or bring a lot of like cheap food home from outside, and like their child is just forced to eat that. I mean, like there's just a lot of things as a parent that you should be conscious of.
I know, and I totally agree. And we don't have to get into the next hour of this because it would take an hour, but like racism is not, people are not born racist. It's taught. We've spoken about this, and that goes in so many other things of like political opinions racism, are taught.
Let me tell you, racism, I'm going to watch. Racism was one of the first wars perceived by man, dude. So man, at the beginning of mankind, man worshipped the sun, right?
Yeah.
Because the sun was the first form, the first thing that was stronger than man, that man could believe in, that man could project in. But then came along other shades of man, because the sun turns other people who flock to different parts of the world from the diaspora of Africa into different shades of melanated skin, of white into Indian, into, you know, as people spread across Europe and whatnot. But that's just to say that race is one of the first wars.
Agreed. Because one man said, you look differently than me.
Right.
So exactly. You're not me. Yeah.
So I'm going to use your differences against you to wage a war, because I believe my differences make me better, right?
Yeah.
Or I believe that my differences make me, I don't know, just more like my beliefs should be your beliefs at that point. So for people who are still, it's sad and it's really stupid. Like to be it's still in the on-dwellings of something that was one of the first wars that mankind ever dealt with. Like,
I know.
That's just showing you that mankind really isn't that, I don't think, that smart or that great.
And
you know,
it's
that
the argument.
Mankind hasn't evolved past their differences. Like, that's so silly and so stupid.
And
bro,
and the argument that we're
stupid,
like
bro.
this in the same way, heterosexuality is considered like what everyone should be. And now we're living in a time, especially America, where trans rights and gay rights are just being accepted more. And I mean, Prince, just think about that. Like, our children, if we have children, are not going to grow up thinking heterosexuality is like the norm. Like, it's just not. You know? Look back at Greece. Look back at Greek times. Those brothels were known for like men to be sleeping with one another and women to be sleeping with one another and vice versa. It's just,
dude, I think there's a big difference between
big difference between race and sexuality, but I'm just saying, like, in the core of it, it's thinking you are different than me, and that way I don't like you.
Yeah.
That's in the core.
Or I'm different than you, and I believe that I should own your land, and that I should own your people.
Yeah.
Right? Which is what colonialism was and what imperialism was. It's like, we Europeans think that our ways of life and our religion is going to help the African and Asian people, so we're going to go there with guns and take over their land, and we're going to think that it's a good thing, though, and go from there. But that's just where that started, bro. But there's a whole big difference between race and sexuality. But to be honest, like, when you talk about race, you might as well talk about gender and gender wars, because, dude, it's the same thing. Like, man is different from woman, and that should be accepted, and that should be nurtured. Men and women have two completely different roles.
Yep.
And if they didn't, life would be totally different. And I don't think we would love life if men didn't have their roles and women didn't have their roles and whatnot. But like with race, I think it can be a liken to race, because we're all different from one another, but we all share a lot of commonalities, bro. We all share the fact that
just the simple fact that we're human. No, just the simple fact that we're all living on Earth, like literally.
The simple fact that is, number one, are you gonna die? Yes, you're gonna die. Number two, if you get cut open and I get cut open, are we both gonna bleed?
Red?
Yes. Is it gonna be the same color? Yes.
Yes.
You know, if you cut both of us open, we're pretty much gonna look the same, bro.
The exact same bone, same muscle.
If you take both of our bodies and you peel the skin off, you can't tell
a difference.
You cannot tell the difference. So that's how stupid race is. It's the same as people having like misogynistic problems or people being like feminist or things like that. Like I don't know, bro. I think that people want to, I guess, I don't know. Men want to become women. Women want to become man. Like, women want what men have. Men want what women have. It's kind of like really convoluted now, and maybe that's cool. I think that's cool. I mean, hey, man, we're the people of the world that depict the way the world goes, and I think that however the people think and however the people are acting is okay, because that's free will. And that's liberty.
Hey, what's your phone at?
And I'm at 5, Rose.
All right, I just wanted to like make sure we don't like end this with you ending the like.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we could go for like another like 7 more.
No,
minutes,
we're definitely doing a part 2. Like this is like happening again, like for sure.
Bro, we're definitely doing a part 2.
No, obviously.
100%.
Obviously.
Bro, I love this.
I love this, and I love you, bro. Like this is like this is what I love about you is we can just talk about things like this openly.
You know, like it's a lot of love, bro. It's a lot of love, and I think that, hey, man, it's I don't know. New York is kind of like you have to, like, if you want to talk to someone or meet someone, you have to like go up to them and like really like try and talk to them.
And you're confident, bro. You're confident in that. You can go up to anyone in this city and just talk to them. And I love that about you.
In Florida, bro, it's a bit different.
A lot of bit different, yeah.
It's a lot of bit different, bro. In Florida, it's like a bit, I don't know if people are more approachable, but
it's the culture of New York. It's the culture of New York. It's definitely the culture.
It's the culture.
It's the culture.
Definitely the culture of New York. And,
hey, bro.
Yeah, bro. How is school going for you, bro? How is the beginning of school going?
School's good, man. I'm working at it, getting the YouTube thing up and running, trying to create more. I have a student film that I'm gonna be in this weekend that I'm acting in. I have a meeting for it at 6, so I wanted to do this beforehand. It's 4 right now. But bro, thank you so much for like setting this up with me and being able to answer my call at 3. I'm glad we were able to do this. This is so much fun. I'm gonna be doing it with a lot more people, as well as you and I have to make this like a more frequent thing
like
for each other and for my YouTube and for the people watching this.
To be honest, like I'm thinking maybe we do it like maybe once a month, you know, and I have Jackson and Eldridge join and we get into like some really spiritual talk.
Who's your buddy that you like hung out with in Iceland again? Are you still homies with him?
Oh, Sang. Yeah, bro. Sang is still my best photography homie, bro, but he's in South Korea.
Oh, he's in South Korea right now. I forgot he's not in New York.
Yeah, he's in South Korea right now because he didn't want to spend that money to come to the New York to do classes online. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
to travel
absolutely.
Like halfway across the world to pay that rent, that $1,000 New York City 1-bedroom rent.
Yeah,
and do the online class.
Totally understand what he's talking about. Yeah, of course.
So yeah, bro, I'm hoping that we're gonna be, you know, he's gonna be back in the New York next semester or whatnot. But yeah, bro, it's lit, dude. It's lit. It's like just keep evolving, keep transforming.
You too. Keep thinking outside of the box and keep not, you know, being like everyone else, because that's what we do best.
Yeah, bro. It's fun. It's fun.
I love you, bro. Thank you for doing this. This was CWA Conversations with Adam podcast. Great first episode. Thank you for watching. Leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Check out Prince isn't even on social media anymore, but check out Slaughter Kobe on Instagram. That's my boy.
Plug it, bro.
Plug it.
So much. Thank you so much for having me on the YouTube, bro. Like it's a blissful opportunity to be on the Adam Schimberg's YouTube, bro.
I can't wait.
Anyone who gets this opportunity should fucking put their head down and respect it, son.
And I can't wait till we can do this off of Zoom, you know what I mean? I can't wait till we can do this with actual mics and just in a room together.
Oh, bro. It's gonna be professional, bro.
That's what I mean,
It's gonna be professional, bro. I'm gonna step my game up, bro.
This might be one of my favorite parts of my YouTube that I'm gonna create. Just the podcast.
They're gone, dude.
Yeah, they are gone. They were scooping. Damn.
They're gone, bro. They're gone.
All right.
Bro. Love you, dog.
Love you, G. Peace out. Walk safe.
All right. Peace out, G. Will do.
Someday I'm gonna be